A little bit. Thank you. Beautiful. I'll tell you this, if I'm Punk, I'm saying, you know what? Got hacked. That's the deal. Got hacked. Kurt Angle did that a few years ago, right? I think he was tipping the bottle a little bit. Just say you got hacked. Try to recover any of the burned bridges that you just fucking created, man. Try to wash those bridges off with those fire hoses, man. What up, unit? Hold on, unit. File in if you don't mind. I gotta make sure I get you guys on the big screen. Let me make sure I got playback first. What's up, unit? Red team, go! Gold team, activate those gold cards. I'm gonna be with you that long, man. I was gonna go live either way tonight for about a half an hour. I wanted to go over the rating for AEW Dynamite and go over a little bit more in depth some of the stories that we went over this week on the Amped Up podcast, man. It's only Thursday. We still got another day amped up to go tomorrow. But, man, have we covered so much ground, so many topics in this community, man. We the ones, the rest, they distant twos, bro. All right, I got good playback. Guys, I can't believe right before I was putting up the tagline, I was putting up the pick. I got the headline all out. I'm about to literally. It was about the ratings in the video earlier that we put up. Man, what was it? Let me give you the exact headline. What we did just 3 hours ago, guys. I just put up a vid titled "Road to Mania just got rocky." The Rock showing up to WrestleMania. We went over NXT and their problems, and they have massive problems right now. And we went over my honest thoughts on Viking Go in that big main event with Kenny Omega. So check that video out if you have not already, guys, after this one. So I put up the thumbnail, everything was ready to go, and then I found out the big CM Punk news that was taking over the wrestling world, man. I'm still waiting for somebody to say, hey, it was hacked, his account was hacked. But if you listen to these words, guys, this is only from CM Punk. I mean, he's giving you details here that seem pretty along the lines of how Phil Brooks actually thinks. We've heard from people in his circle. So what we're talking about first, man, let me do my due diligence. The original point of this live stream, again, I'm only going to keep you guys hopefully for about a half an hour because the podcast that I put up earlier is an hour and a half. So you guys are going to have much content after this. But I wanted to talk the AEW Dynamite rating. Guys, 954,000 in the ratings, 954K. Now, a lot of people, especially people that just don't like AEW in general, they're saying, but the dream match didn't equal 1 million? To that I say, hold on, man. That's actually not fair. They grew 100. They got 100,000. I can't really say they grew. They got 100,000 viewers back, man. That's pretty damn good. When you're sitting at 850 for the last 5 out of 6 weeks. And 950 was their top of their niche. So you got 100,000 viewers back, man. I never expected them to hit 1 million, guys. Not in 1 week. They were at 850. You have to tell your niche audience, that 850 to 950, the top of the niche, you have to tell them why they should be coming back. You have to do better. Tony Khan has to put out a better show. Last night, I felt he did that. The main event was intriguing as hell, but there was a big story to start the show and a cliffhanger at the end. Who done it, right? Who took out the Bucks? We think it's the Combat Club, but if you're Don Callis, he's trying to tell Omega that it's Hangman Page that's taking everybody out. He dropped the Young Bucks, and he just took me out while your back was turned. So I do like even though it's a simplistic story, it's a classic whodunit. And now you have to slowly but surely get your own audience back. And that's what they did this week. Do they keep that audience? That remains to be seen. The initial number that AEW Dynamite should be getting is 1.2. That's what we've come to the conclusion. Numbers people like BC. We had to move the goalpost because Tony Khan's AEW was coming nowhere close. So that's how we came up with the million number. It's not just because it's a nice whole number and it sounds good, right? 1 million. 1 million is what we moved the goalpost to. So, and they're having a hard time even hitting that, guys. But at least this was a step back in the right direction. For the longest time, they were at least near 950. So they were right there. They just have to get over the hump. And what happened the last month and a half, they started going backwards. They started going to 850, 858, 824, 833. Not good. So this was a huge step in the right direction. If you just hate a promotion, in this case AEW, then yeah, you're going to say, oh, a dream match and busting out Sting on TV and not even a pay-per-view. And they still didn't hit 1 million. But I feel that's unfair. You got to now work your ass off just to get your own audience back. They did that. They got 950. Now you work double time. Kickstart those stories into high gear. Get more than one captivating story. Start to make people have to put that remote down, not just want to. Hope that makes sense. So that's the rating. People might bash it, but that is a huge uptick. Listen, WrestleMania season, guys, even WWE has not seen growth. They're going backwards. SmackDown lost over 100,000 viewers. And Raw did go up 72, but they're still stuck in the 1.7s. That's without football, and that is a week away from WrestleMania. So the biggest show that saw a jump in the past several weeks has been AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday. So trust me, I'm always calling out AEW, but you got to be fair. They put together... The middle of the show was kind of odd, but the story was impactful with Omega, the Bucks, and Hangman. And then the main event, dude, I'm not even a flips and dives guy, but that was something special. Now I hope this Vikingo guy can actually go on the mic and can carry storylines, because pro wrestling is more than just sequences and moves and flips and dives. So I'm hoping this guy captivates in every angle, man. Every aspect, every layer to his game is tight-knit. Now, on to what you came here for, man. And I said I didn't want to keep you guys here too long, so I will try not to do such. But this is massive. Again, I'm still waiting for somebody to say, like Phil Brooks, oh, it got hacked. The account was hacked. That wasn't me who said that. But every word that you see, that sounds like something exactly Punk would say, because we've heard from his inner circle that that's his true feelings on these individuals. So let me set the stage for you, if you don't mind. So if you guys caught on Dynamite, in the first segment when the Bucks got jumped and Hangman is about to jump into the ambulance, Don Callis is pushing back the Kenny Omega, all of the elite is in this segment. And guys, there's a big 18-wheeler, a big trailer. And on that, just like WWE does, they have all their superstars on the side of the trailer, the truck. The Young Bucks are on this trailer, and in the middle of them is CM Punk. Now, if you caught the beginning of Dynamite, while the elite were doing their whole situation, that whole first segment, CM Punk's whole face, and it's gigantic because it's on the side of a truck, it's blocked off with cardboard and tables, guys. They went out of their way to set up tables and cardboard, man. Now, CM Punk is still with AEW. So for any of those people that say, well, they had to do that, he's not with the company. Well, not technically, guys. He's actually still with the company. Not anymore. Not after tonight, after what Punk just said. But technically, before tonight, he was still with the company. So they went out of their way, and you guys know, I'm not breaking down the fourth wall here. You guys know the elite does not like CM Punk, Phil Brooks in real life, IRL, and vice versa. Punk doesn't like them. They don't like Punk. It's just how it is, guys. Some people were not meant to get along. You hope sometimes you can still work together, but not everybody is meant to get along. So it's ironic that this truck would be parked right there, and you're going to have the ambulance right there, and you're going to go out of your way to make sure that Punk is totally shaded, guys. Totally blocked out. cut out from the whole segment. Cardboard, guys. It was the most tackiest shit. It was almost like it was done on purpose. Newsflash, it most likely was. It's the Elites segment, man. You think they didn't notice that? You think it was the cameraman Bucktooth Johnson, who said, hold on, guys. I think we should cover up Punk. I think we got to cover up CM Punk. And everybody's like, good call, Bucktooth Johnson. No, bro. This was the Elite. They said, dude, let's totally shade this. Because, guys, this was literally hours after we supposedly heard a report that Punk wants back in AEW. And BC called BS on that immediately, by the way. Punk is not going to send feelers out. Punk's not going to beg to come back to AEW. He knows he could just have a talk with Tony Khan, and it could be done if wanted. Hours after that, the Elite totally blocked this dude off of the truck. Parked the ambulance right there, kept the truck there, and just totally shaded him out. Come on, bro. That's funny. That's funny. That's not, I mean, if you're not picking sides here, because BC is impartial to this, but I don't pick a side. That's funny, man. I mean, they went out of their way to see if people were going to notice them shading CM Punk. So, I wanted to set the stage for you, because now we fast forward. Now, what comes out just about an hour ago is this statement by CM Punk on his one of his social machines. That this might have been a gram of Insta. And this is what he said. Guys, I'm going to give you a quote, okay? This is CM Punk, Phil Brooks. You guys ready for this? And this is coming off of a Meltzer story, by the way. And I'm going to go over that in a little bit to give you guys context. But this is what CM Punk says, and I quote, "Sigh, I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. Then the plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I never seen a Rocky movie." Timeout. The biggest news story for BC here is that Phil Brooks, CM Punk, never saw Rocky. How did you never see a Rocky movie? You never been pumping the iron in the gym and you got fucking Rocky's theme in your dome piece? Sorry, I'm on my 9th coffee today, guys. Anyway, I can't believe Phil Brooks never saw a Rocky movie. And number 2, you should never admit that. Number 3, you should not be able to work anywhere for the rest of life if you've never seen Rocky, right? If you're an employer out there and you hire employees, on the little what do you call it? The application. Just make sure everybody's seen the Rocky movies, all right? Or else you don't get employed. I will make sure every senator, the president, everybody signs off on that, all right? You gotta see the Rocky movies if you want to be a part of any organization, any company. All right, anyway, moving on. This is what he says. CM Punk Phil Brooks says, just an hour ago, I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. Then the plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I never seen a Rocky movie. And I thought the idea sucked. But if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. So he thought Moxley's idea, he came right out and said it sucked. But it's the boss's decision. He goes on to say, he said he wouldn't lose to me. So Mox told Brooks, I'm not losing to you. So he's calling Moxley out right from the jump. It's pretty clear. I have a lot more to say, guys. Phil Brooks was not done. But right there, he's never working in AEW again. You guys know that, man. Mox is going to make sure of it. He said Mox didn't want to lose to him. So he said he wouldn't lose to me. I never experienced someone refusing to lose to me, Phil Brooks says. I never experienced somebody refusing to lose to me, not even in WWE. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this was what he wanted. He said yes, he's the boss. So I said, okay, but I need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash. so I didn't need to be cleared. Ooh, calling out Tony Khan and AEW as a sloppy shop. Damn! CM Punk woke up and chose bombs. He just said they run in a sloppy shop, get in the ring uncleared. Bro, he throwing bombs to AEW. So Phil Brooks said, I asked Tony if this is what he wanted. He said, yes, he's the boss. I said, okay, but I need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Chris Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change. Giving a Meltzer line there. But I will never put a company above my health ever again. The same thing he walked away from WWE and got pissed off. He is pissed off. Now we come to the root of why he was so angry at Tony Khan and AEW from the jump. It's because they were asking him to get in the ring uncleared just for a quick squash, get the title off of him. Punk is like, fuck you, dude. First of all, this guy Mox doesn't even want to lose to me. That's some chicken ass shit. I've never had that in my career. Somebody refusing to lose to me. Fuck that. So I'm not even for this idea. Number two, at least let me get cleared. And Tony Khan's like, bro, we can do this squash. Just get in there, drop the fucking title, bro. And he's like, excuse me? What if something goes wrong, man? My health is more important. I'm not getting in the ring. Don't you know what happened between me and WWE? And you're going to pull that shady shit? This sloppy shop shit? Now, I don't have a side here, guys. I'm just fucking... I mean, I am in awe. I am shocked. Again, I went live expecting to just go over the AEW rating and go over some news stories from this week's Amped Up podcast because I've been feeling we've been putting out some really banger shows this week, man. Absolute 10-star classics. If Meltzer was rating these podcasts, man, we've been busting ass on this channel. We've been kicking ass on these podcasts. And I was just going to go over a half-hour recap. Right before I went live, I caught wind of this shit, man. CM Punk absolutely dropping bombs on AEW, bro. If you want to recap this, guys, I got to get a swig of coffee because I don't even know where to begin. He calls out Mox for refusing to lose to him and said he never experienced that in his career, not even in WWE. Then he calls Chris Jericho a liar and a stooge. He says Tony Khan wanted him to wrestle uncleared and he will never put a company above his health. So he literally dropped separate bombs on Tony Khan and all of AEW with that statement. Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley. Forget Meltzer at this point. Guys, that's the owner. So for anybody that thought this was like a storyline maybe, right? Or they're going to make this. Guys, this had nothing to do with the Elite. Nothing. If it was story, you'd be banging out verbally with the Elite, right? They just shaded him on Dynamite. They covered his face on the trailer. I get it, right? And then every fan is going to think it's a work. Guys, he's literally calling out AEW to be a sloppy shop and said that uncleared Tony Khan wanted him in that ring to take a quick squash. There's no way you can look good or come back from that. They will forever be known as a sloppy shop after this. After tonight, AEW is a sloppy shop. So he throws this bomb on Tony Khan. He throws two... Now, the locker room leaders, guys, if you didn't know, and I've said this many times on this channel, AEW Talent has confirmed this. There's 3 locker room leaders, and it's in this order. Chris Jericho is the number 1. Above the EVPs even, the Elite. Chris Jericho is the locker room leader. Right underneath him is Jon Moxley, and then Bryan Danielson. And it's in that order, too, as far as how hands-on they are and how the talent looks up to them and goes to them for certain things. So not only did CM Punk just drop bombs on Tony Khan in the whole organization, but he dropped separate bombs on 2 out of the 3 locker room leaders. And he does not get along at all with the EVPs. Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page for sure, and so many more. Not that Hangman is an EVP, by the way, but definitely a well-respected, well-liked dude in the locker room. I think it's clear to say now, guys, unless we find out that this was a hacked account, right? Which, again, this seems too in detail, too fine-tuned, and by now, Punk would have said something about getting hacked or something about it being fraudulent. Obviously, it's been an hour plus now, and there's no word of that. And Punk, from what I'm told, even though he can be a douche at times, is pretty honorable in his stance. Even if you don't agree with it, he says what he feels. So I doubt he's going to go back on it, you would think, and say that it was a hacked account. But he did delete this message, guys. He deleted the post. So this is already going against what I'm told CM Punk stands for. Why would you put all that out there and then go, fuck, I'm taking it back. I no longer feel that way. Doesn't work, bro. I'm told that was taken off. And the separate bombs on Jericho and Mox, knowing you already have so much beef with the Elite, which are the EVPs, and you just called Tony Khan out on running a sloppy shop, I think we all can agree now, finally, guys. Not that we want to see this necessarily, but I always felt that Phil Brooks lost the smile for pro wrestling. I honestly think that Phil Brooks just is not happy with wrestling anymore. And everybody kept saying, oh, I can't wait till he comes back to AEW. Even after all this, a few months passed by, and all of a sudden everybody was willing to just forget what happened. The ratings never really budged, guys. He was consistently around 950, the same place they are today. Sometimes even less. He never moved that needle. And number two, he never seemed like he was happy. His body was breaking down on him. He already had 4 injuries, 2 main ones and 2 smaller ones. And he had less than 10 matches in 2 years. 1 year, whatever the fuck it was. Just a handful of matches. And he had 2 big injuries. He was always miserable. He said it at the Brawl Out scrum. I'm miserable, I'm older, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm broken. I mean, that's from the horse's mouth. Why would you want this guy to come back, break his body some more, be even more miserable, and cause more toxicity in the locker room? The locker room totally was fractured with Phil Brooks. Why would you want more of Phil Brooks? Unless you really just want to see AEW just get shattered. If that's the case, he's the right dose of poison. Punk is not happy in wrestling, guys. And locker rooms are not happy with Punk in it. He gets a few friends in WWE, and that's his circle. He has a few locker room friends in AEW, and that's his circle. Everybody else feels weird around the guy. I've had professional wrestlers tell me that personally. They feel he's awkward. They feel that he's not out for their best interest, just him. They've said this time and time again in AEW, echoing the same sentiments as WWE. So I don't understand, if you love AEW, why would you want him back? It's not like he moved the ratings either. So let him heal his body and try to find his smile again, like Shawn Michaels tried to do many moons ago. If you care about All Elite Wrestling, if you care about Phil CM Punk Brooks, they should stay away. Some couples were meant to be divorced. It's unfortunate. You never want to see people get divorced. But sometimes a relationship is so toxic, they need a divorce. Phil CM Punk Brooks and pro wrestling need a divorce. It doesn't work. And now his body's just breaking down. And he's not good at it anymore. He was never the most athletic dude in wrestling anyway. Now he's just a bundle of botches. And I'm not even just talking about the match with Hangman Page and trying desperately to hit a buckshot lariat when he can barely get over the top rope. It's done, man. It's sad to say. But locker rooms cannot be divided by one individual. And Brooks seems that there's a pattern here. Everywhere he goes, there's bridges that are being burned to the ground so badly that they can't be resurrected. It's just not healthy for him, and it's not healthy for AEW. And after tonight, can we finally agree, guys? I mean, after what CM Punk just said, he's throwing bombs on the locker room leaders, EVPs, Tony Khan, calls the whole organization a sloppy shop. He's not coming back now, right? So can we finally end the conversation? Can we finally end the conversation, man? But in 3 months, I know, in 3 months, Baszler, I think Punk's gonna be a huge asset. Baszler, they're gonna work it out, and they're gonna Baszler, they're gonna make this a work. It's gonna be huge, Baszler. CM Punk's gonna be better than ever. He's gonna be built like Batista. He's gonna have the agility of a Vikingo and a Ricochet. He's gonna come back rocking, Baszler. You're gonna see. What are we talking about? What do you mean he's gonna come back like fucking with the agility of Ricochet and the fucking mindset of a Seth Rollins and the fucking body of an Austin Theory? Cameron Grimes. You guys see Cameron Grimes lately? I'm gonna read this again, and you guys tell me where I'm going wrong here, because I'm thinking this is done with him in AEW. CM Punk says the following: Sigh. I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. The plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie. I thought the idea sucked, too. But if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I'd never experienced someone refusing to lose to me like Mox. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this is what he wanted. He said yes, he's the boss, so I said okay, but I just need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a quick squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. I'll never put a company above my health ever again. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. That's from CM Punk, Phil Brooks. Calling Chris Jericho a liar and a stooge, saying that Mox had horrible ideas for their match and that he refused to lose to Punk. Said that Tony Khan was running a sloppy shop and wanted him to go in the ring, ring the bell, wrestle a quick squash match so he didn't need to be fully cleared. And Punk took great offense to that. Said absolutely not. I will never put a company above my health. He says, I scoffed at that. How can you put one of your talents in the ring if they're not fully cleared? Don't you know my WWE story? Don't you know why I was so pissed off over there? Wow, man. This is massive, bro. This is massive. Guys, what do you think about Phil Brooks' statement, man? Chat, light it up in there, man. Nobody's got anything to say about CM Punk, Phil Brooks. Chat, light it up, man. Dino says truth bomb other than the Mox part. Well, which is it, Dino? Is he lying about Mox not wanting to beat them? Because he says Mox refused to lose to him and that he had a bad idea anyway. So Dino, if he's truth bombing, then he's telling the truth about Mox, no? Big Time Baxter, disappointed yet not surprised. Shame on the fans that were begging for a return of Punk. Yeah, I just don't know why they were begging for a return anyway. There was more negatives than positives for a Phil Brooks return. Smurfy Tunes, Das Boot. Hey, thank you guys for over 100 on the ups too, by the way. That's going to help the algorithm. I came on with about 24 minutes of notice. And I'm only staying on for about less than an hour. So most of you guys are going to catch this afterwards. So I appreciate that, guys. Let's get that to 150 if you don't mind. Help BC out, man. This little ECW channel we got going over here that the Tube does not want to promote. And I don't blame them. I'm too controversial, they say. Fuck it. JR9 Gaming, my right-hand man on the channel. Punk just dropped a bomb on TK. Definitely telling the truth. Johnny Thunder, it's not about me, man. Enough with the BC. What do you think about Punk, man? That's what I'm asking. This isn't about BC being fired. I'm asking you guys about Phil Brooks, man. What do you guys think about this statement? Jonathan just wants AJ Lee back. Silver Black 31, a channel member, gold status. Phil just needs to not do wrestling and do something he loves. Writing comics, for instance. Yeah, absolutely. Find that smile again, bro. No question. I believe him in full. Melty Boy lies anyway. Christopher Blackshear. Anthony. Man, yeah, Anthony. Truth or lies. He's a cancer on pro wrestling. He should stay far away. Raku's99 says, it's just Phil being Phil. James Shrimp Fajitas. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Naomi? Still waiting for her to come back. Naomi was just fired. Excuse me? Naomi was fired? I'm not seeing anything about that. Who's breaking this? Who's breaking the Naomi fire news, guys? Because I'm going to have that reaction live. Naomi gone from WWE. Who's reporting it? I need factual information. Jer9, who's reporting the Naomi shit, man, please? On her Instagram, excuse me, it's WrestleVotes. Her Instagram, I don't have the fucking, what the fuck? Hold on, guys. I'm about to read this live in a second. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm about to get this live. Naomi no longer with WWE. All right, I got it. Hold on. Oh, shit. It is. Wait a second, man. Naomi no longer with WWE. Comments post, she asked a girl, are you even still in WWE? Was a comment. She replied, no, friend. Ha. Is that it, though? I don't know about that, man. I need to see more on that, man. She just put no to a comment. Am I missing anything else, guys? I'm fucking live here. I got all the I got 7 different pages of Phil Brooks, Dave Meltzer. What's going on with AEW and Brooks? Is that the only thing? Just that comment? No, friend? If it's just that no, man, I'm not seeing anything. I mean, she's not putting that in a statement. Yeah, and I'm still seeing some things that have her tied with WWE. I fully expect Naomi to be back with WWE. Fully expect her to be back with WWE sooner rather than later. I mean, is there some type of separation? Man, I don't know, bro. That's, she still, no, I mean, she totally cut WWE out of her name, though. I will say that. Trinity Fatu straight up. I don't know, guys. I have to find out more on it. I think she's going to be back in WWE. I don't see her in AEW, to be honest. I don't see her taking the Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné route. I don't see her going to Japan. I just don't see that. And her husband is in WWE, guys. Bloodline status. Jimmy Uso. So, I mean, her life is right there in WWE. I think this is just a long hiatus. She might be parted ways, and we just don't know the details behind it. But I fully expect her to be back in WWE this year, way before SummerSlam. That's what I'm saying, guys. And everything that I've heard is that that's the supposed plan. She's just taking this time off, just like Mercedes did. Now, Mercedes was able to do what she's doing now. I think if she goes to AEW, even if it's just for the Forbidden Door, I think that is going to be very telling and piss Paul Levesque off, guys. Right now, I think Paul Levesque is fine. Do what you... He already knew. Mercedes already told him what her plan was. I don't think AEW was in the initial plan. There's a good chance she could show up at Forbidden Door. She said she's open to it, just waiting for the call and business talk. And Tony Khan said, this just got interesting for Forbidden Door. There's a good chance. I think then Phil Brooks is going to be pissed off. Phil Brooks. That's our main story. We'll go back to Phil Brooks. Paul Levesque is going to be pissed off if Mercedes actually does an AEW pay-per-view like Forbidden Door. But I expect Naomi... I honestly expect Naomi to go back to WWE at some point. If she is fully detached from them right now, good for her, do you. And hopefully we find out more details, man. You know, just when was the timetable? Because that's interesting and it tells a lot of the story going forward. Right now, we don't know the timetable. Only it seems Naomi and Mercedes know. And congratulations to them, man. Props to them because they have kept it tight-lipped, bro. Mercedes and Naomi have said nothing to the point where not even the most reputable of sources know a damn thing. Very interesting, man. But I'll keep tab on the Naomi situation. Even though it looks like she's gone from WWE and it's official, I still expect her back. And that tells me that maybe this was a long time in the making. But I don't see Naomi going anywhere else. But back to WWE, I just don't see her fitting anywhere else and be booked properly. I mean, at least with Paul Levesque, maybe she has the chance. Tony Khan is really trying to work out his women's division still, and it's still kind of up in the air. I still don't know what Tony Khan's women's division is. And I don't think Tony Khan knows what it is. Interesting, man. But the Phil Brooks thing, I didn't want to keep you guys here too long, and we're already over a half an hour. So with the CM Punk situation, I honestly was waiting for like somebody to say like maybe the account got hacked or something, right? Phil Brooks comes out an hour later and says, "Hey, that was not me. I was hacked by Kurt Angle." But that's not what happened, guys. Well over an hour later, there was no comment at all from Punk. Punk just deleted that post. He deleted the post that's in question. And in case you're just joining, man, close to 400 live. I know most of you guys are going to catch this later. I only gave you guys 24 minutes notice. In case you're wondering what this was that CM Punk broke his silence and said about AEW, it wasn't just about the company. He, in one statement that has since been deleted just 2 hours ago, he said that Mox had shitty ideas, basically, for how to take the title. He said that Mox wanted to do a Rocky 3 type of situation. Punk said, how many times do I got to tell you I don't watch the Rocky movies? I've never seen the Rocky movies. I don't know what rock Phil Brooks has been living under, but how are you even a human being if you haven't seen the Rocky movies? Then he said that Chris Jericho is a liar and a stooge. He said that Tony Khan wanted him to wrestle and drop the title while he was not even cleared. Tony just wanted him to go in, ring the bell, have a quick squash match. Brooks said, absolutely not. I'm not putting a company over my health. And Tony Khan was trying to tell him, it'll be quick. It'll be a quick squash match. Don't worry. And Brooks was against the idea. So in one post, Phil CM Punk Brooks actually dropped bombs on 2 of the 3 locker room leaders, the locker room leader in Chris Jericho, and the second in command, Jon Moxley. Totally rocked them, tore them up in this one post, and then proceeded to absolutely tear up AEW as a whole, with Tony Khan, the boss, as a frontman, saying that they run a sloppy shop and they wanted him to wrestle not even cleared. Because in Tony's words, don't worry, it'll be a quick squash. And Brooks was like, Brooks's words was he scoffed at the idea of it. He scoffed at it. Guys, I don't even know. there's no way that Brooks ever comes back to AEW now, or if he does, I mean, that would be such an awkward environment. Have you guys ever worked somewhere where there's one or two employees you just don't like, and they're enough to like make your work situation awkward, right? Like somebody you just can't stand and you just don't want to work with them, but they're not going to get in the way of your payday. I mean, this would be like a whole locker room not wanting to work with this dude, most anyway. And then this dude not wanting to work with his bosses, the EVPs, the lead boss, Tony Khan, the locker room leaders. I mean, anybody in command, Phil Brooks just dropped nukes on him. Could you imagine going back to work? And speaking of work, anybody that thinks this is just a work, he's not talking about the elite guys. That's what the work would have been. If they were able to come to the table and somehow agree to have Brooks come back, CM Punk, you would have to somehow make this a work, right? An IRL situation, an in real life situation, make it a work with the elite, Hangman, and Brooks, CM Punk. Guys, none of this post was about that shit. It had nothing to do with Hangman, nothing to do with the elite, the Bucks. This was about the locker room leaders, Chris Jericho, Mox, Tony Khan running a sloppy shop. This has nothing to do with what you could have said was a work. So I hope we just now finally see that this is a fractured relationship. CM Punk and AEW was never meant to be. This was just a bad marriage. It's like one of those Britney Spears marriages, I call them, right? Where you get drunk one night, you're in fucking puppy love, and somebody came into your life, you're in love with them, overnight you get married, right? And at a Vegas chapel with some dude dressed as Elvis Presley. And the next morning when you wake up with a really bad hangover and an ugly fucking shithead next to you, you realize by the ring on your finger, it's probably a fucking one of those ring pops, by the way, the 25-cent ring pops. You realize you just made a hefty bad decision, right? This is like one of those Britney Spears marriages. You thought you could just jump in bed together, everything's going to be great. You realize pretty damn quickly you could not be more opposite from one another. AEW was never what Phil Brooks was looking for. He just wanted to stick it to World Wrestling Entertainment. And in doing such, what happens, it's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers, man. He just wants to go play another year with the Jets because he wants to stick it to the Packers. That's never good. Brett Favre wanted to do that, and it didn't end up well for Brett Favre. It's not going to end up good for my boy Aaron Rodgers. And it didn't work out for CM Punk. When you do shit just for spite and not for the right reasons, you're fucked. So the question now becomes, Unit, I have to ask this. I think he should stay away from wrestling for his own health, to try to find his own smile, because I don't think pro wrestling is ever going to make him truly smile again. So now I do have to ask, if he ever comes back to pro wrestling, does he come back to WWE by WrestleMania 40? Does somehow Paul Levesque bring this motherfucker back into the fold, guys? Does CM Punk come to WWE? No, a lot of no's, man. One day, says Dino. I do too. I think Hall of Fame for sure, but I don't know about a run. Jared9 says WWE is probably more likely, but doubtful. Why did you bring him back? Why did you do it? You doofus son-in-law. Who was it? My idiotic daughter that told you to bring him back? You're such a doofus. A doofus with a big nose. Damn it, you're lucky I don't fire all of you. My idiotic daughter, my doofus son-in-law. And where the hell is Shane? I haven't seen Shane in years. Is he still my son? Somebody get Shane on the phone. My doofus son-in-law! You big nose freak! Where the hell's my daughter? Why did she walk away? Damn it! CM Punk, I hate you! I hate you! Bring CM Punk to my office! He's fired! Shane appears on the Tron. Big WCW letters behind him. There's a McMahon name on this ownership of WCW, but it doesn't say Vince McMahon. Shane comes back with WCW. Oh, fucking A, bro. Did we make it player? Could you imagine if we do player trades at WWE and AEW? Tony Khan, it's like the Packers wanting to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. So it would be like AEW wanting to get rid of CM Punk. Paul Levesque's open for offers. Who do you trade him with? Phil Brooks goes to WWE. CM Punk goes to WWE. And maybe for two second rounders, like maybe Ricochet and... I don't know. I don't want to get rid of Chad Gable or Otis. Ricochet and Ali. How about that? Ali wants out anyway. So you could say, okay, I'll take CM Punk. You get Ricochet and Ali, right? They're probably better suited for AEW. And while we're at it, well, fuck it. Let's keep fucking going, man. We'll take Ricky Starks, and you can take the Viking Raiders. Have them take on Butcher and Blade or some shit. I don't know. I think that would be fun if we could do player trades, man. Guys, all seriousness, that's what I got for you, man. I tried to keep this under an hour. I do have some super chats. I want to go over them. So however long that takes, I want to give shout outs to my supers, man, my VIPs. All my channel members, dude. I see a lot of green names in the chat, a lot of gold cards after the names. That's my channel members. You guys, dude, I have to give you a salute. Thank you for supporting this channel. A lot of you guys from day one. We're a little ECW channel. The tube does not want us to grow. They try to shadow us at every point. We've done many studies and tests that show that, and I'm cool with that. I'm controversial to them. They don't want it to grow. I'm totally cool with that. You guys shut them the fuck up. You guys tell the tube to fuck off, and slowly but surely we grow whether they like it or not. And it's because of the small things, man, like just supporting the channel, throwing a coffee on a membership. Ty Drew, man, gold team. Pimp Jesus, I see Dino, James Shrimp Fajitas, Richard, I see a lot of gold members, man, channel members. I want you guys to know, man, you guys, top of the heap in this fucking community, not just on this platform or on this channel. Salute to you guys, man. So that's a swig to you guys. To my entire red team, even if you're not a channel member, thank you for always supporting at the bare minimum. Totally free, doesn't cost a dime, doesn't cost a penny. Smash that up. That's how you can support the channel, man. All of the hours and hours and hours of content that I give you guys a week, all I ask in return, smash the up, help the algorithm. That's all I ask, man. So salute to you guys. Much love and appreciation. I want to go over the supers. I'm going to end it one more time, guys, because this is what the video has become about. While I've been live for 49 minutes, I've been waiting for someone to say this has been hacked. Phil Brooks's social has been hacked, maybe by a drunk Kurt Angle or something. I don't know. And we're going to find out that it was just hacked. But all of these words just seem like they're right from Phil Brooks's mouth. It just doesn't seem like that would be hacked. So I'm going to say CM Punk's statement one more time, guys. This is what Phil Brooks says about Mox, Jericho, Tony Khan, all of AEW. First he says, sigh. I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. The plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie. I thought the idea sucked. But if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. So Mox said he wouldn't lose to me. I just laughed. I never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I asked Tony if this was what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said okay. All I asked for is to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash, so I do not need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change. A diss to Melty Boy. I'll never put a company above my health ever again. So that is the appreciate that, LT, big time. So that's the Phil Brooks statement that the whole wrestling world is going to be talking about. I'm probably one of the first ones to go live with this. I was going live to talk about the AEW Dynamite rating. And then I was going to go over some stories from the Amped Up podcast from earlier today. BC already put up a podcast a few hours ago. Couple thousand of you guys have already caught that. Thank you, guys. Make sure you go over to that video, please, that podcast, and give that an up, if you don't mind, after this live stream. But I was going to talk about that right before I went live, man. I saw what was unfolding. And I said, okay, well, obviously that's what everybody's going to want me to talk about. So that's what we've been talking about. I'm one of the first ones to go live with it. So we're probably going to find out more detail about this going forward. But that's what BC has for you now. I'll cover this a little more tomorrow, see if there's any more details. But that's what BC has for you guys, man. Phil, you're going to hear a lot about this going forward because this puts the final nail in the coffin of Phil Brooks ever going back to AEW, right? That's it. Phil Brooks is done with AEW, and this all started Wednesday morning, when false reports broke that Brooks wanted to come back to AEW. And then that night on Dynamite, the Elite totally shaded Punk on the side of the trailer truck when they put cardboard over his face and tables. It was tacky as shit, and I think it was meant to look that way. It was totally shade thrown to Brooks. Obviously, there's no love lost between the Elite and Brooks. We know that Jericho has been calling out Brooks from the time of the Brawl Out scrum, and now Phil Brooks is totally throwing bombs at Chris Jericho now, the locker room leader. Add in Mox saying his ideas were stupid and he refused to lose to me. Tony Khan is running a sloppy shop, wanting me to wrestle, not even cleared. It is clear now, guys, that finally Phil Brooks has went and pissed all of the top dogs in AEW off. CM Punk has pissed off all of the top dudes in AEW. There's no way you can come back from that, I would think, and have a locker room that is going to be united, not divided. So this is a big moment in wrestling, guys. Phil Brooks is finally officially done with AEW. Now all that needs to be done. I'm sure Tony Khan is fucking pissed right now, bro. Saying that he runs a sloppy fucking shop. Tony Khan is fucking ripped, bro. He might axe CM Punk by midnight tonight. We may have a mega story tomorrow. We almost had 200 on the ups. Haven't even been live for an hour. Only on 24 hours notice. We're about to hit 200 on the ups. Let's fucking do it, guys. Let's get amplified. Let's smash that over, too. There ain't no reason not to be amplified. Come on, man. Show some passion. Get a fucking pulse. Let's rock. Smash that shit, man. And just like Legend of Fold 101, I'm going to go over some supers now, guys. And any more questions you have about CM Punk, for instance, I'll answer now in the super chats. So I want to put that up on the big screen. So I'm not going anywhere yet. I'm going to... First, I got to get you guys up on the screen, see who started this. I think Ashley Steggles started this before we were even live, guys. Ash Steggles, who's at work. So when you catch this later, Ash, I appreciate that, bro. Ash Steggles with a 10 spot. Couple of coffees thrown over to BC in the channel. He says, just thought I'd drop a quick super as I can't stay for long because of work tomorrow morning. So red and gold team, raise some hell and get amplified. Asshole out. Peace. Ash, I appreciate it, brother. Smash out work tomorrow, man, and I hope you're able to catch the rest of this stream. I appreciate the coffees as always. So good to see you up in the chat. Thanks for showing the love, dude. Right back to you. Salute. Ash is a channel member, gold card status, man. Fiery Death, 1 spot, no words needed, just saying what's up to BC, showing that love and respect. Right back to you, bro. Fiery Death, appreciate it. Savage, 1024, The Punisher with a 10 spot, couple of coffees. It's funny how CM Punk remains suspended and those jobbers at mid-gymnastics wrestling side with the elite when it actually, in actuality, I can speak, they provoked this whole all-out drama. Yeah, both sides were totally wrong, Savage 1024. But when you're EVPs and you're more in the good graces of Tony Khan, you're more in his ear, you're going to be back way before the other guy. And because Brooks is the one that laid down a challenge to the entire locker room at that scrum, it didn't paint him in the best of light. So Savage 1024, The Punisher. I know, man. Silver Black 31, 5 spot coffee says, damn, Ash beat me to being the first with the super chat. Oh well, red team, go! Gold team, we are the ones. Damn right, man. Everybody else in the community, far distant twos, bro. Here on the AMP channel, my amplified unit, my red team, my gold team, we are the ones, man. And it's for people like you, Silver Black 31. You trying to be the first one. Ash Steggles just beat you to it, bro. But trust me, we wave it up high, man. Silver Black, I'm going to give you a big shout out and salute, bro. I got 3 screens lit up, guys. If you guys are hearing 3 other screens, that's because I have 4 in total. Salute, Silver Black. Love seeing that support. Guys, Muhammad's up in here with an 11 spot. I love it. A couple coffees and the start of a third coffee. Muhammad Isa. It really annoys me when people say that CM Punk and the Elite should just work it out and do a storyline between them for the best interest of the company. At the end of the day, they're still human. Well, that's the problem, Muhammad. It's easy to say, especially wrestling fans, right? We can turn any real situation into a work. Because the cool thing about wrestling is most everything can become a work. But in this situation, Phil Brooks is not happy, bro. Phil Brooks is not happy in wrestling. It's never been more evident. He's only been in AEW for a fucking year, and he was miserable. Did you see him at the scrum? He's talking about being bitter, old, broken, angry. He lost his smile in 1 fucking year. Got 2 major injuries, 2 minor injuries, and the ratings never even went up. He didn't even move the needle, so the company didn't benefit. The locker room was fractured. They called him a poison and toxic to the locker room. And then he was miserable. So why the fuck would anybody want him to come back? Fans should not want that. It's so weird, man. Everybody thinks that Phil Brooks is the saving grace. And everybody was on the same page after All Out, right? The Brawl Out scrum. Everybody was on the same page. Even diehard, tried and true CM Punk fans. Everybody admitted it's a divorce. They have to go their separate ways. After just a few months, we just forget about it, right? It's time. Let's bring back Punk. What? Problems just don't go away if you're the common denominator. If you're the one that's burning bridges along the path of life, you're the common denominating problem. If you're fucking walking through the fucking forest, walking through the forest, it's a beautiful day, and everything behind you is burning, right? The whole forest is on fire. And you turn around and you see it. Oh shit, the forest is on fire. That's not good. And you don't even think maybe you're the one who caused it. So you keep on going. You're walking through a big city like Chicago. Chicago's beautiful on a beautiful day. Chicago starts to burn, right? Chicago is burning to the fucking crisp. And you turn around and you see your city of Chicago burning. Wow, that's not good. Wonder what's causing all of this. And you don't even think that it's you. So you keep on skipping along with maybe AJ Lee. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to cross this bridge. And you cross the bridge, and the bridge starts burning. You turn around, you see a bridge burning. You're like, what the fuck caused that, man? Wow. This is fucking nuts. Everywhere I go seems to be on fire. Maybe you're burning everything. You're the common denominator, bro. So I totally agree, Muhammad. It's easy to say, hey, let's all work together again, man. We can turn this into a work. But why would you want somebody to walk into AEW, skip to his locker room, good to be back at work. Hi, Tony Storm. Hey, Paige, what's up, man? Last saw you at Fox Sports when we were doing the WWE show. What's up, everybody? And as he's going through the AEW locker room, everything's burning. Why would you want AEW to just burn? Come on, bro. I love it. Smurfy Toots. Can they coexist? A real life storyline, right? Can Punk and All Elite coexist? Muhammad, they just gotta, it's a breakup, man. Sometimes in life, you gotta get a divorce. It happens, man. It happens. Basically, I disagree. I think it's gonna be huge when he comes back. They're gonna turn it into a work. Punk is gonna get 1.5 in the ratings. And AEW is going to be off to the races. Basically, I want to see Viking go versus CM Punk. CM Punk. And I'm going to go to it and I'm going to yell, this is awesome. Fight forever. Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm going to do all the chants, BC. Listen, if you love CM Punk, that's fine. But bro, he should not be in AEW. He shouldn't even be in wrestling. He's not happy. End it, bro. Just stop. What the fuck you think CM Punk versus Vikingo is going to do? CM Punk has had 2 major injuries. He fucking broke something just trying to leap into the crowd. You think he's going to take 630 planchas from Vikingo? He can't even do a buckshot lariat without landing on his head. I heard he got a paper cut by trying to open a pickle jar. How do you get a paper cut opening a pickle jar? Heard he snapped a toe doing an arm wrestling contest. I mean, this is the type of shit we're hearing, right? Those last 2. Not exactly. But the point is, if you love CM Punk, you don't want to see him return. If you love AEW, you don't want to see him return. It's sad. But that's just the way that it is, man. Silver Black 31 and Muhammad Isa, Savage 1024, The Punisher, Fiery Death, Ash Steggles, appreciate it. Dino, 2-spot. Dino says, BC, we all know we gonna be here for 2 hours, he said. Well, Dino's talking about, usually I say I'm gonna keep you guys here for about a half an hour. And we usually do like 2-hour streams. But Dino, I'm really trying not to, man. I'm just doing the supers now, and then BC's gonna head out so you guys can catch the podcast that I put up a few hours ago. So, Dino, we are over an hour already, though, bro. Fiery Death with a 5-spot. Again, no words needed, just showing that respect. Fiery Death with a coffee. I appreciate that. A swig and respect right back to you, Fiery Death. Savage 1024, The Punisher with another 5-spot. I'm on Punk's side throughout this whole thing. The Elite started this, Punk finished it. Well, he definitely finished it, Savage, because he's not coming back now. He just literally threw nukes onto Tony Khan, called AEW a sloppy shop, basically. Wanted him to wrestle when he was not even cleared. These are stories that we usually hear with WWE or some type of version. Now, I hope the AEW crowd keeps that same energy. If this was WWE, we'd be hearing sloppy shop. I hope you guys keep that same energy, bro. Tony Khan running that sloppy shop. You got to call it out now, man. This is big. Savage 1024, The Punisher, salute. Ed Ram, 5-spot coffee. One thing about Punk is he is most likely saying the truth. He tends to speak without thinking. Well, yeah, that's not smart then, Ed Ram. It's good to be truthful, but you want to be smart about it. And it looks like you're right because that was deleted minutes later. That whole statement was deleted, I am hearing. So, Ed Ram, I got to find out more. You know, if you're going to waste the time to say that whole statement, that takes time. That was a lengthy statement to drop nukes on AEW. Why would you then, moments and minutes later, delete it, man? I mean, you didn't think that this may just totally burn this bridge once and for all? You didn't think maybe this ain't the best idea? Then again, you got to think, how many times am I going to sit back and watch or listen about how I'm being thrown shade, right? I mean, you know he heard about what happened on Wednesday night with his picture on the trailer truck being totally cardboarded out. Guys, it wasn't even done in a nice way. AEW, Tony Khan has billions of dollars from his dad, Shad Khan. They put cardboard over Punk's face. That is like telling you, we want you to notice. We're going to make a mockery of this fucker. Cardboard. That looks so fucking Walmart tacky, bro. It's funny in one aspect, and you kind of feel bad at the next. So at what point, I mean, Punk is hearing all this. At what point do you just say, at what point do you say, you know what, I'm going to come up with my side on it? And that's what he did, man. That's exactly what he did. Where'd I leave off? Strict Tango! 2-spot. Strict Tango! I feel Kana would fit in Bray Wyatt's 6 faction. Kana Asuka. Oh, no question, bro. And we wouldn't even have to worry about the promo, man. That's what everybody says about Asuka. How can she become champion and beat Belair at WrestleMania if she can't cut a decent promo? Well, I mean, there's other areas that she absolutely just crushes everybody else in, man. She checks off every other box. You play to your strengths, you hide your weaknesses. You stick her with somebody like Wyatt. Of course that would work. That would never happen, though. I don't think that they would allow that to happen. You'd see Alexa Bliss back with Wyatt way beforehand. I always thought Liv Morgan would be cool with Wyatt. But Strict Tango. Legend Fold 101 10-spot coffee. Couple of coffees, man. Appreciate it, bro. BC, hope you're well, dude. No doubt, Legend. You too, dude. CM Punk should stay away from wrestling altogether. He can't wrestle anymore. I hate to see it. Tony Storm, Sky Blue, Layla Gray, and Jade on my TV. You like that, huh, Legend? Stay blessed, BC. Yeah, well, last night you had Sky Blue, you had Jade. Did you have Layla? I don't know if you had Layla. You had Tony Storm. Yeah, you had them all, man. Yeah, I do agree, though, man. CM Punk should stay away from wrestling, and I think that's going to be better for his own health. Get your smile back, man. And as much as we hate to say that, it's just the truth. So I appreciate you, man. Big time. Hold on, guys. There's a couple more, too. Got to get it back on the big screen. There's a few more I'm going to go over. Hold on, guys. Yeah. All right. Let me go back to the big screen. Hold on. I'm going to get to you guys. I know there was a few more. Hold on. Where did I leave off? Savage 1024 The Punisher. 5-spot. Fans who ask, what if these jobbers was in the Attitude Era? If any of them he would be in the Rocks would be jabronis to tell you the truth. I don't understand, but yeah, you're probably right. Fans who ask, what if these jobbers was in the Attitude Era? If any of them they would be in the Rocks would be jabronis to tell you the truth. Oh, I think you're saying if the Elite were in the Attitude Era, would they be jabronis? I don't know how the Young Bucks would be, but I truly think Kenny Omega would be something special. I like Kenny Omega. I think he's a spectacle when he's on his own. I don't like the Trios division. I don't like him always tied at the hip with somebody, whether it's a Hangman, Young Bucks. I don't like that shit. But you could be right about the Buck Savage. Attitude Era was its own beast. Ahmed Yusuf, $4.99. What up, Ahmed? Haven't seen Ahmed up in the chat in a while, man. My prediction, the Raw after WrestleMania, Switchblade, Jay White, Matt Cardona, and Randy Orton appear. Ahmed, Randy Orton is going to be at WrestleMania. We don't know if he's going to be in front of the screen or not for WrestleMania Night 1 or 2, but he is being flown in. Matt Cardona looks to be on the way, following his wife, Chelsea Green. And Jay White looks to be leaning way more WWE than AEW. You might get it all, Ahmed. At this point, I'm not seeing any bullshit detected. Muhammad Isa, 550. Muhammad says, BC breaking news from WrestleVotes. Woman can actually give birth. What a discovery! We like to poke fun at the Wrestle Geeks, man. Wrestle Vote, who always drops the stupidest reports. They're not even reports. They're literally just like common knowledge, right? The sky is blue. The grass is green. Gunther will get a championship title shot one day soon. Roman Reigns is going to take some time off if he loses the title. What the fuck? Who the fuck listens to these geeks? Fucking idiots, man. I can't even blame votes. You gotta blame the fucking idiots that think he's an actual insider. Dumb schmucks. Muhammad. Too funny, dude. Dino, 2-spot. CM Punk. Oh, hold on. I used to do it really good, Dino. I lost the Jericho voice. If there's any tried and trues that have been with BC for a long time, I used to be able to do this, man, when he actually had the list. So Dino's super chat is simple. I gotta get the pen ready. Hold on. I gotta hit a different octane. Jericho's voice is hard to do. You have to hit a different octane, guys. Let me try to hit this super chat by Dino. CM Punk! You just made the list! I haven't perfected it, man. It's hard to do. You gotta hit like a twang in there. You just made the list! You gotta get your rock star out. You just made the list! No, now I just sound like I'm having a fucking aneurysm or some shit. All right, well, I'm gonna work on that, Dino. Big Time Baxter, $4.99. BC, is it a coincidence that Dynamite popped a big number just 2 days after Roman made a reference to them on Raw? A lot of people clinged onto that line. Well, Big Time Baxter, first of all, salute, man. Thanks for the coffee. I think it was a lot of things. First of all, the middle of the show was awkward. I mean, there was a lot of fluff, right? As much as I love Sky Blue, what the fuck is she doing in there? Well, who'd she take on? Toni Storm, I think. Come on. You don't have to see that match. Stu Grayson versus Mox. Come on. Dante and Darius, the Top Flight Martin brothers versus the Gun Club. Come on, man. Dan Garcia is confronting Adam Cole, baby. Dan Garcia gets more time than Wardlow will in his entire career in AEW. Wardlow has not been seen since he took that pussy-ass powerbomb from the stage by QT Marshall and Powerhouse Hobbs. And he didn't even go through the fucking staging area. And he couldn't make his way up at the count of 10, even though he didn't go through the staging area. Made him look like an idiot. And then he's been gone ever since. Just like after Samoa Joe took him out and cut his hair, and he was gone for a month. Tony Khan doesn't have a clue how to book a guy like Wardlow. But Danny Garcia, he'll be on every fucking show, guys. I don't get it. But my point is that the middle of the show was not must-see. But you started with a good storyline, man. Young Bucks are taken out. Who did it? Yeah, we think it's the Combat Club, but Don Callis is acting like Hangman might have done it, and he's pushing Omega back. It's not Omega that goes with the Bucks to the hospital. It's Hangman. And by the end of the night, the ambulance is coming back, and it's Hangman. And Don Callis makes it look like Hangman just fucking threw him to the ground, so now Omega's pissed off. Are you attacking all my boys? Don Callis, Young Bucks? It's a storyline. Not just that, but I love the red, white, and blue ropes. That's old school WWF for those of you that don't know. Way back, you're going the 80s and early 90s, guys. They used to have red, white, and blue ropes. I fucking love that shit. And the main event was fun. I don't like flips and dives. It's going to take way more than that continuously from Vikingo. He's going to have to, we'll have to see how he is on the mic. Can he carry storylines on his back? But for that night, I thought it was a fun main event. So there's a lot of reasons why they got 100,000 viewers back. I will say this, Big Time Baxter. I'm going to say this. As far as that line that Paul Levesque allowed Roman to say to Cody about not getting over in that other company, I don't know why you would even do that. Why even acknowledge them? Right? It's the same thing that everybody gets on AEW's ass every time they say something about WWE. Oh, you can't go a show without mentioning WWE. Get their name out of your mouth. Chumps, indies. But WWE alludes to it, and everybody's like, that's fine. They barely do it. It's not going to help WWE at all. It's going to make people go, wow, they acknowledge them. Maybe I should check it out. So maybe it did bring 5,000 extra viewers. I don't know. But the bulk of that 100,000, it's because Tony Khan actually did several things right Wednesday night. And that's going to bring 100,000 viewers roughly. I knew it wasn't going to be a million show. So everybody going, oh man, they didn't hit a million. Wah, wah, wah. I was never thinking they were going to hit a million. That shouldn't even be the goal. You have to get your tried and trues back, which is the better part of 950. You've been hanging around at 850. You lost 100,000 of your own diehard fans. You got to get them back. And guess what Tony did? He got them back. Good for him, man. I don't want AEW to succeed. I'm hard on them, just like I've been hard on Monday Night Raw for 6 fucking years. Over 5 years I've had this channel. It's because I want them to be better. And I'll give them props when they do shit correctly. Khan did some stuff correctly this Wednesday. So, big time Baxter. A little bit, man, I would say. But I think there was way more at play. For sure. Oh, Jimmy Fingers is up in here. I'll get to you in a second, Jimmy Fingers 19, gold status, one of my tried and trues on this channel, man. Hey, we're over 200 on the ups. I really do appreciate that. If you want to take it a step further, let's go to 250 on the ups, guys. That'll really help. On 24 minutes of notice, you guys have rocked this live stream, man. Legend of Fold 101 says, with a 2-spot, quick shout out to my queen, Asuka. Haha. Hey, man. I'll give a shout out to Asuka, man. I call her Kana Asuka now. She's Asuka with the Kana personality. Vince just didn't want to get rid of the Asuka name. He feels there's too much weight, too much money invested in the Asuka name. I get it. As long as they bring back the Kana personality and character, I'm cool. The culminating moment has to be at Mania when she hoists that title over Bianca Belair. Right? I mean, that's how I see it, man. I don't know. Let me do it again. I got to ask you guys, man, if you don't mind. I'm going to ask my unit. I'm going to put a poll up real quick, man. Does Asuka defeat Belair at WrestleMania? WrestleMania! For the title. Does Asuka defeat Belair at WrestleMania for the title? That's gonna be in your chat in about 10 seconds, guys. I need at least 50 of you up front in the next 60 seconds to answer that. That poll question will be in your chat within 10 seconds. Please answer that. I want to get a gauge on what you guys are thinking. I've been doing this every few days. While you guys are doing that, let me go over to DB for life with a 5-spot coffee. At this point, why would they break Punk's back? He needs to retire. Also, did you hear about talent that could be let go after Mania? First of all, DB for life, the whole situation with Punk and AEW is just a marriage that needs to come to an official end. Divorce. It's like a couple that doesn't have the money or there's kids involved, but for some reason they're separated, but they haven't officially gotten a divorce. That needs to end with these two. Tony Khan and CM Punk need to officially, tonight, get a divorce. Because CM Punk just sent out a scathing post calling AEW a sloppy shop and calling out the leaders of AEW, Chris Jericho, Mox, Tony Khan. And we already know he called out all of the EVPs, executive vice presidents, before. So now he has literally picked every single top dog in AEW. He has now put the final nail in the coffin. Just end the relationship once and for all. DB for life, no question. And as far as talent being let go after Mania, that's always a possibility. Vince McMahon is back in charge more than ever before with the financials. And if he thinks that he can get a quick $400,000 in revenue by cutting 20 talents, he's going to collect $500,000. And he's going to up his status for the next quarterly in the financial game. I mean, that's just how it is. If Vince doesn't care if he's kicking you to the curb. Vince doesn't care if you're not going to have a meal next month. Okay, maybe that's a little harsh, but he's not going to lose sleep over it. Vince cares about one fucking thing, his company, and he is ruthless. Vincent Kennedy shows ruthless aggression. DB for life. Too funny, man. Let me go over to Jimmy Fingers 19. Solid. Oh, hold on. Let me go over to the tally. Hold on. I asked you guys a question in the chat. Let me see if I got at least 50. Oh, we going to 100, bro. I might as well wait to 100. I just put this up 2 minutes ago. We're about to hit 100 votes. 81% of my amplified unit says that Asuka will defeat Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for the title. 20% say no. Yeah, I'm in the same category. I love Bianca Belair. I think the match is going to they're going to tear it up, man. They're going to do wonderful. But all of this booking for Kana Asuka was just to lose at Mania again. She's never won at WrestleMania, guys. Never. This was all just to lose again at WrestleMania. And then where do you take her from there, man? I mean, this is her moment. Bianca Belair can do all these other things. She doesn't have to have a title. She's had it for the better part of the year. And I love long reigns, but this is just, everything is adding up to where it's Kana Asuka, guys. I would wait till 100 votes, which is only 7 or 8 away, but I don't even think I need to. It's a landslide. 79% say yes. I'm going to end it right there at 93 votes. 78 say yes. Asuka's going to win this. That's overwhelming, guys. So the results will be in your chat within the next 15 seconds. Jimmy Fingers 19 with a 1019. Couple of coffees over to the channel. Jimmy Fingers, always good to see you up in here, man. Please, whatever anyone thinks of Phil, whether he is botching or getting hurt, the company has also done nothing but gotten worse without him. Phil could be a mouthpiece like Invisible Hand Don Callis. I guess, but Jimmy Fingers, he doesn't add, though, man. The ratings didn't increase. So I don't know what we're basing it on. And the locker room would just be fractured. And Phil Brooks wasn't even the same on the mic that he was in WWE. Phil Brooks had a couple of good pieces of work on the microphone. I think MJF was one of them, and maybe Hangman was the other, right? And then Eddie Kingston was like a distant third. I don't know, man. They were nothing like what we were expecting. And you could tell he never really found his groove. I could see if the ratings really just like stayed over, if he was really like a dominant rating needle mover. But he wasn't. I mean, instantly it seemed they went right back to 950, 9, sometimes 850, back to 9, 925. The locker room was absolutely fractured. And Phil Brooks was miserable. So Jimmy Fingers 19, I don't see any upside to having Phil Brooks in AEW. Man, I want to meet you halfway and just say I see a little bit. Okay, there's a positive here. I don't. He's not happy. He doesn't get along with there's a lot of trust issues with Phil Brooks. You saw that in WWE. You see that wherever he goes. He keeps a close circle. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Aaron Rodgers is like that. Right? BC to a degree is the same way. A lot of you guys are probably the same way. But you have to go along to get along and get along to go along, if you know what I mean. And you just can't go in there with a certain attitude. And at the all-out, brawl-out media scrum, remember what Brooks said about them who couldn't even manage a target. Okay? And then he says, I'm over here trying to run a company. Right there, he exposed himself for his true mission. He was already looking past the executive vice presidents, locker room leaders. He was already positioning himself to be the right-hand man of Tony Khan. And you're doing that while not exactly being the nicest dude or the best dude to a lot of the locker room. I mean, there's just not a lot of good. I don't know any other way to say it. That's not even shade. I mean, anybody with common sense and logic can see that Phil Brooks, CM Punk, and AEW was a marriage that was destined for divorce on day one. That's factual, guys. Oh, Godswilla, member for 3 months, bro. That's as long as I've had memberships, correct? So Godswill has been a member all 3 months, bro. Whoever's been a member from day one, you guys are going to have the streak. You guys are going to be like the longest reigning champs. Godswill, I appreciate the membership gold status, man. So cool to see. They better have the tag title match main event night one, not again with Charlie. Godswilla, again, I appreciate the membership, the gold status, and I could not agree with you more, bro. Charlie Flair and Rhea Ripley have that's not shade to them. They have no business being in the main event. And I know, BC, the unspoken and even sometimes spoken rule is the winner of the Royal Rumble gets the main event, BC. And that has to include the ladies. Guys, I don't give a fuck. You've changed the rules a billion times before, and now this is the hill they're going to die on? No. I don't care what the fucking rule is. Charlie Flair and Rhea Ripley cannot main event. Their first match years ago was a better story. Do you guys remember Charlie went to NXT and beat up Rhea Ripley at the Performance Center? We have seen nothing even close to that in this story. And somehow this is going to main event the rematch that has a lesser story, a more boring story, is somehow going to have a bigger spot? That's stupid. That's stupid. Anybody with common sense and logic can tell you that's stupid. Even if you're a Charlotte fan or a Rhea Ripley fan, I hope you understand that's stupid. I'm a massive Asuka fan, and I love Bianca Belair. And even I know that shouldn't necessarily be the main event. It's got to be the biggest storyline with the longest reigning champions in the match that's probably going to be match of the night, the Usos versus Sami and Kevin. If Seth Rollins and Logan Paul isn't on the same night, that could end up being match of the night as well. That's a stacked WrestleMania, man. You have the Usos versus Sami and Kevin for the longest reigning tag title reign on the line. John Cena versus Austin Theory, US strap on the line. Logan Paul and Seth Rollins is going to be a fucking immaculate match. Cody Rhodes is going for the world title against Roman Reigns. Finn Balor is taking on Edge inside of a Hell in a Cell. The Demon versus the Devil. Trish Stratus and Lita, for the first time in years, wrestling side by side in a tag match. Gunther is taking on Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. They're just going to destroy one another. And I'm probably missing other matches. I'm purposely missing Brock and Omos. This is not even with Bray Wyatt or Bobby Lashley. It's a stacked WrestleMania, man. Now it's all about where do you put the matches on which night, right? Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Thank you, Iman Perry. Iman, that's a damn good story that we expect is going to be at WrestleMania. It's just going to be like one of those last minute type things. Probably get it fucking declared at the Hall of Fame. That's a storyline going into that too, man. That is fun. Rey and Dominic. I'm probably missing even more, bro. Hold on, let me go over to the super there. I think Jimmy Fingers. Yeah, Jimmy Fingers. So I don't know about, a mouthpiece, of course. Yeah, like when he's older, when Phil Brooks is really older and he's just like, I just want to give this one more try. Maybe he can be like an older, like a manager, right? Like Paul Ellering. Do you guys remember Paul Ellering? If you remember the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, Legion of Doom, he was their manager. I don't know. Maybe he could be something like that. And he can go on the mic. Let me go over to Legend of Fold 101 with a 5-spot coffee says Tony needs to have challengers for my girl Jamie Hayter. Her reign is weak right now. Well, that's what he always does, Legend. You look at the reign of a Rio, Saraya, Thunder Rosa for sure, Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter. What's the common denominator? Tony Khan doesn't know how to book their title reigns because he doesn't even know how to book the individuals because he doesn't know how to book the women's division. This is a problem. Jamie Hayter is good right now and she has a good backing. She has momentum. And yet, here we go again. This is what Tony Khan does when somebody has momentum. We've seen it in the past 4 times with Wardlow. We've seen it with FTR. We just saw it with Ricky Starks and the Acclaimed. When you have momentum, Tony Khan is going to stifle it and shove it underneath the rug and hope nobody steps on it or notices that it's underneath the rug. What the hell did I just step on? Is that Wardlow's momentum? Why is it underneath the rug? Shut up, man. I'm trying to push new people on the indies. Shouldn't you concentrate on your own roster? Shut up, man. So I hear you, Legend of Old 101, but he just doesn't know what to do with the ladies, man. Taryn Dawn, 5-spot coffee. Taryn, what up? Speaking of CM Punk, can we put a ref shirt on Larry the Dog? I'll take that over AEW's current refs. I agree, man. Hearing Larry the Dog, CM Punk's dog, was in the middle of that brawl in the locker room. I would love to have seen Larry just like going after motherfuckers. The legend has it that he bit Kenny Omega. Anything is an upgrade from AEW referees. I tell you guys all the time, watch an AEW referee in a tag match. What are they doing, guys? What are they doing, right? They're in the corner. Everybody's in the ring. There's no law and order. The referee is not telling them that they have to be outside and make a legal tag. Everybody is in the ring for the entire 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. And the referee is in the corner just fucking doing the Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Don't you understand that when they call them Magalino, they don't want them, they don't like them. Hey, Macarena. He's just doing a bunch of fucking things, waving around. You, out, you, over there, you, let's do the Macarena. You don't even know what he's doing. He looks like a fucking fool. Nobody's listening to him. Nobody is paying attention to the referee during a tag match in AEW. They look like fucking idiots. The next time you see a tag match and you see the referee inside, play the Macarena. Get it on your little, I don't know, you got an iPad out, you got your little fucking, anybody have a Walkman from 1985? You take out your Walkman, take out an iPod, take out your fucking phone, put on the YouTube, just put on Macarena, and it'll sync up with an AEW referee. Or the fucking electric slide. It's electric. Cha-cha-cha, y'all. They're over there having dance class. There is no referee that knows what they're doing in AEW for tag matches, at least. And they're over animated. They want to be more of the show than the actual wrestlers. Anyway, Taryn Dawn, too funny, bro. Jimmy Fingers 19 with another 519. Jimmy Fingers says, although I agree with everything you say about Phil Punk, I would still watch Punk eating cupcakes in a wheelchair than Wheeler Utah and Dan Garcia. Well, shit, Jimmy Fingers 19. I can't argue with that. I'm probably with you. That might be more entertainment. I don't get the Dan Garcia thing, everyone. I don't know what Tony Khan sees in Dan Garcia every single show. I mean, he cools off FTR, Acclaimed, Ricky Starks, Wardlow. When you have momentum, he makes sure he sits you at home or doesn't use you properly for weeks and weeks and even months. But Dan Garcia gets the world at his feet. I don't know what Dan Garcia did to get that position, but Tony Khan is on that shit. I don't get it, Jimmy Fingers 19. God Swilla, 2-spot. Not my boy Bray. It sucks when he misses Mania. Yeah, I just hope he's okay at this point, man. Everybody has their jokes. Everybody says, oh, Bray sucks anyway. And him and Lashley didn't make sense. I'll absolutely admit that. But right now, it's a little bit beyond that. More importantly is the dude's health. I really do hope he's okay, man. I am hearing some other stuff, and I don't want to say anything until I get more concrete info, but it's not good. I'll tell you that much, man. So we absolutely hope the best for Bray, man. This is absolutely a pro Bray channel, and I want to see the best for him. I don't know, man. So hold on. There's the big time Baxter. $4.99. WrestleNomics reported year-over-year Raw is flat in viewership, but way up in 18 to 49. They aren't hitting 1.8 to 2 mil because they're losing 50-plus viewers. Well, they're not hitting 1.8 to 2 mil for a lot of reasons, I assure you of that. 18 to 49 is the same. An uptick on year-to-year for 1849 does not devalue the 18 to 49 targeted ratio, which should absolutely be at 2.2. I hope that makes sense. there's a targeted ratio that you should be getting demo-wise over 2.2. As a whole, 2.0 to 2.2. You cannot devalue the 2.0 to 2.2 just for a year-to-year overall ratio, which is what you're talking about, what WrestleNomics is saying. So I totally understand that a year-to-year might be up, but a total value with a devalue on the overall simplistic form of it is not going to undervalue it or underscore it. It has to still evolve to what the target is, which is 2.0, 2.2, and that's the 18 to 49 demo for 4 years. So I don't mean to confuse anybody, but numbers-wise, there's a lot of reasons, and it starts with WWE not putting on the best shows for years. That's why they're not at a 2.2. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure. Big Time Baxter. Yeah, I love all the numbers talk, though, man. I think I got all of the supers, man. I don't know how we rocked it, man, but we did it. Over an hour and a half. It is going to be 2 hours, a little more than 2 hours later. Big Time Baxter, Godswilla, Jimmy Fingers 19, Taron Dawn, Legend of Fold 101, DB for Life, Smurfy Tunes. Oh, Smurfy Tunes. I didn't even get the Smurfy told up, man. Smurfy Tunes, 5 spots, is glad to see Alexa recover from the cancer scare. And CM Punk should take his talents to Mindy's Bakery in South Beach. Mindy's Bakery. That's when he was at the Brawl Out Media Scrum. And he's like, man, these cookies are great. And then MJF recently was at the Media Scrum. And he was like, these pickles are amazing. Mocking CM Punk. Yeah, Smurfy Tunes. It's great to hear that news about Alexa. That's not why she was out for months, guys. I hope you know that. She was absolutely not happy with WWE. And in the process, she was able to do the Masked Singer. And recently, unfortunately, there was a scare. It ended up being okay. But she's alluded to many times about some frustrations with the WWE, and they don't have anything for her. They're misusing her and even not using her. So, unfortunately, these are not reasons why Alexa was not used. Alexa has come right out and said they just don't have anything for her. And that's very sad that Alexa does not get any love in that company. Smurfy Tunes, much love and respect. So let me make sure I got everybody now. Big Time Baxter, Godswilla, Jimmy Fingers 19, Taron Dawn, Legend of Fold 101, DB for Life, Smurfy Tunes, Big Time Baxter, I did get, yes, twice. Dino, you just made the list. Oh, that was actually much better. Muhammad. Ahmed Yusuf. Savage 1024, The Punisher, Strict Tango, Ed Ram. Fiery Death, Silver Black 31. And Ash Steggles kicked us off, man. And you know what? I think one just came in as well before I take off. I think Jimmy Fingers said, you know what? I'm ending this stream. My super chat. I'm going to be the super chat champion. Jimmy Fingers 19 with a 519 says, does anyone remember Mark Briscoe? Nah. Give me Rio with a pipe and Stokely versus Hook instead. Jimmy Fingers, man. Got the jokes. What Jimmy Fingers is saying, if you don't mind, Jimmy Fingers 19, let me decipher that a little bit more. Let me know if I got this right. Jimmy Fingers is saying Mark Briscoe has been on a roll lately. And because he started to get momentum, especially with people who never knew much about the Briscoes, and they finally got to see this dude collect W's, he's got momentum, and he sits at home Wednesday. And last week, a non-factor. So instead, give me Rio with a pipe and Stokely Hathaway versus Hook instead. Jimmy Fingers he'd being funny, and I get it, bro. Even my girl Sky Blue versus Tony Storm or something. Stu Grayson and Mox. A weird tag team title match with the fucking Martins. But all the people that should have been on there, and they still pulled the $950K, bro. They didn't have MJF. They didn't have Chris Jericho. They didn't have a lot of peeps that are big. The Wardlow was supposed to be the next big thing, but they didn't. They had a storyline, man. They started the show. They ended the show with a good story. They had a main event people were looking forward to. A lot of people I found out, guys. Now, I'm not trying to rain on AEW's parade. I'm glad they got 100 900K back and got back to 950 plus. But a lot of people, for some reason, this is just delusional, they said they tuned in because they thought Goldberg was going to show up. Guys, Goldberg, he was never going to show up. We're hearing reports that he was able to get that one last match done with WWE. He might indeed be a free agent. Khan made a reference to it. It's something to look out for, he said. And people thought Goldberg was going to show up. I wonder if that was one of the big reasons why they pulled another 10-20K. Unreal. Jimmy Fingers 19, too funny, bro. Goldberg. That's what all the AEW audience used to call him when he was in WWE. I hope you keep that same energy if Goldberg shows up. And if Nia Jax shows up, you best boycott that shit because that's what you were saying about her in WWE. I want that same energy, guys. We got to call it down the middle, damn it. Oh, 250 on the ups, guys. I appreciate that, bro. 24 minutes of notice. I already put up an hour and a half podcast a few hours ago, and you guys still showed up to this one. 24 minutes of notice. 24 minutes. Hundreds live. Thousands will be catching this within the next 24 hours because of you guys. And now we get to go toward 300 on the ups with my live crowd alone. I appreciate you guys big time. I'm going to let you guys rock out the rest of the night. Go show that podcast some love from earlier on this channel, please, guys. We go over The Rock. He will be in Los Angeles. I go over a whole conversation about this. Rock will be there for his daughter, Simone, in her big televised debut in NXT. Will he show up the next night at WrestleMania and cost Roman Reigns that championship? We also talk about NXT's woes. We talk about Vikingo and his big match with Omega. What are my true, honest, amplified feelings and thoughts about that match? BC Tells All, an hour and a half podcast, man. Much love and appreciation, guys. BC, top guy. I am out. Think, be, live, amped always. We the ones, they all das twos. And I will, this went over an hour more than I wanted, man. I will give a full roll call by the end of the week, man. All of my channel members. I see you guys heavy in the chat, all the green names with the gold cards. I see you guys. I'm going to give a massive shout out by the end of this week. I take my channel members very seriously, man. Much love and respect. I appreciate the support. To my entire red team, let's rock out, man. Check you. Salute. Salud!